one of the other things that we've looked at is that we honestly asked KRU to start looking at involving some of these high-profile games. I'll just give you an example. 3 years ago, the KRU event in Mombasa, it had a tremendous, impact on companies. But immediately, and to be honest, it almost eclipsed Drift in terms of organization and everything, and companies that wanted to come in. And you can see what effect that has. Companies start thinking, oh wow, this is something good to go in. And I think if you just devote a couple of those high-profile games, some of these events to Western, to the main regions that actually have, rugby, this potential, high potential of growth, I think it would help when you go to speak to these companies. Then they'll listen to you because they can see the value. But when we've been trying a lot, and all what they're saying, I mean, how many people come in to watch now? And I really support the aspect of having regional offices. Basically getting very serious on representation in these areas. Because then, as KRU, then you have line of sight of what is happening in development. And these are the things that have been, that if really followed up, can really help a lot.
Agreed. And on that issue of the games, we've actually received proposals from some of the affiliates to try and host international matches. I think as a principal point, the board actually is supportive of that. But we have to agree on what is the model. Yeah? Is KRU just going to go have the game in Mombasa? Or is it Mombasa saying we can we have X number, or we can be able to raise this kind of sponsorship to cater for that game? We can go talk to a county government, we can get a deal around accommodation, the ground is of this standard, etc. So we've had that discussion. We've even shared the checklist of what it takes to host a test match. And it is quite significant. Obviously, KRU will come in and support the affiliate, but it would be good if someone came and said, we've engaged with the county and these are the sort of things we can be able to knock off from the cost so that it becomes viable commercially. So that avenue is not closed. Yeah? And so I'd encourage you even to your clubs, maybe this year the calendar is probably set, but for next year, Kenya, Uganda, in Kisumu or Kakamega, I think would be fantastic. If you look at Machakos, there's been some engagement with them asking, can we bid for, so rope in also the county, because a lot of money comes and the county will be the biggest beneficiary, accommodation, food, local transport, all those things. So that channel is certainly open. And if Mombasa is interested, we can share with you a bit more so you start planning for going forward.
We're very much interested. Yeah, very much.
My name is Colin Mogo. I'm from Egerton University. I came in fairly late, very, very late, and I'm not privy to what you discussed before I came in. But this is what I was sent to communicate as our position, was our contribution to today's meeting. Speak up. So, I was sent to push two main pillars to the development, or to the strategic development of Kenyan rugby going forward. So the first pillar would be player welfare, and the second one, fanatics fanfare. Because our position, fanatics fanfare, because rugby cannot be rugby without the fans, and at the same time it cannot be rugby without the players. Most focus has been either primarily on the players or the board or how rugby is run, but we've taken our eyes off the fan. We wouldn't be playing rugby in empty stadiums year in, year out. So we should also have strategies to reel in more funds. And in terms of player welfare and really restructuring the game from the grassroots, we came up with a few ideas. So we thought it wise to have talent incubation centers away from the conventional, because at the moment I would say, in my own opinion, that the incubation centers are run in the conventional clubs, the Kenya Cup clubs. But it would be a good idea to make it more accessible to other people on the grassroots. So by this, we had in mind working in close partnership with high schools and universities, because these are communities that are already established and they have quite a pool of players. So it would be a wonderful idea to pick out universities or high schools in specific regions and then pull them up using their own, because when you work with a university, you rule out the need for accommodation for a player. When you work with the university, you rule out the need for insurance because the student is already covered by the university's insurance. And you also rule out the need for probably an ambulance at the match venue, because the university always provides their own ambulances during the playtime. So we would like to push for the union to work closely with institutions of higher learning and high schools, and then pick out universities in regions that are uncovered as pilot projects for that, so that we move away from focusing on clubs that are already established, while at the same time nurturing and harnessing talent from the grassroots. Then there was also talk of sustainable growth in the player pool in terms of continuity and investing in youth. In my days in high school, I used to look up to Biko Adema because I was in high school and he was in high school playing for Kenya team. So in my village high school in Nyanza, I could look up to Biko and say I can make it to Kenya team while still in high school. But at the moment, that dream is sort of invisible to the current high school people, because well, you can't actually say you can make it to the Kenya team at that age. So it should be an objective of the union to nurture growth of the game from a tender age, because currently the focus of rugby has shifted from the Sevens World Cup to the Olympics, and every union's strategy or objective is to perform well in the Olympics. But if we look towards performing well in the forthcoming Olympics, while we don't nurture the talent that we have right now, we will have to present the same players in the forthcoming Olympics with the excuse of experience at the expense of young players. In terms of local competitions, our main focus was looking up towards Safari Sevens, but not as the main thing. It would be ideal to have some sort of marketing campaign in the run-up to all 7s and 15s competitions. We can even have the union pick up key matches in the case of 15s, so that we push for attendance in a specific match. It would be good, say for instance, if the union pushes for attendance in one match, and then we have full sold out tickets, and then the union can generate revenue from that to support the teams, as opposed to each Kenya Cup match playing on a virtually empty stadium. And in the run-up to sevens, I will focus mainly, or I will refer to the 2013 season. There was quite a good build-up to every sevens venue. So in as much as we all know that the Safari Sevens will be somewhere in October or November, we should make people look up to attend it through a solid marketing campaign early enough. And then finally, the main thing was meritocracy in terms of team selection. It has been our opinion that the current performance in both, but 15s is looking quite good, but in 7s, it's not very promising. And it's about time we started if we are picking players the wrong way, it's about time we found out how we are picking players. Or if we are picking them right, it's about time we demanded performance from them. Because from way back, we've always been complaining that the issues that are always brought forward after poor performance is the aspect of professionalism in the sport of rugby in Kenya. That rugby is not professional. But in the times when we are performing well, we take in the good credits. So it is about time we started demanding good performance, regardless of whether we are professional or not, and pick out players in terms of merit. I think that is all.
Thank you for those remarks. Does anyone have anything to add or to contribute to add to this? Yes, sir, please.
Good morning once again. I said I'm Sami Tanu from Eldoret. Although I'm in a Mean Machine t-shirt, I'm a former Mean Machine many years ago. So basically in a development, I'm from Eldoret, it's a side which is developing. Most Eldoret has most clubs which are developing. But my issue is officiating. I've heard people talking about every other aspect of the game. But to me, officiating needs to be looked into. To develop a game, we have to have a nice officiating. So that is my view, and thanks for that, for the chance. Thanks, Ali.
Okay, yes, sir.
First of all, I'll have to applaud the KRU and the board for coming up with this strategic plan, which is quite achievable. I only have one observation. You say the strategic plan up to 2021, but when you go through it, we've not specified on when do we really want to achieve a couple of the objectives. I'll give an example. When we say on the national squads and elite management, develop high performance environment, when do you want to achieve it? And who's going to help to achieve it? Compared to when we talk about Simba Kenya 15s, where we are saying we want to qualify for the Rugby World Cup 2019. That is quite clear. 2019 Rugby World Cup. Vis-a-vis develop a high performance environment. When and who? So if we can have a column, an extra column where we are saying these are our targets, these are how we're going to achieve them, these are the activities, this is the period within which we need to achieve them, and who is going to try and work on it to be achieved. So I think that's the only, consider like the financial development service charter, all functions to be completed by June 2017, which is quite clear. So by June 2017, we have a target that we need to fulfill. That's the observation.
Okay. Anybody else? Yes.
On the last page, you have World Rugby recommendation. Have they been factored into the plan, or are those going to be factored into the plan when you're coming up with the final document?
I'll answer that. A lot of these recommendations are going to be factored in once you do a final document. This is the draft that we're looking at. We're asking for your feedback on what you consider to be important. That's what we have to put into the plan going forward. So remember, we're looking at a draft. It's not the final thing. Okay. Then once we've gotten what your feedback is, we'll implement the suggestions that you have. Those that we're able to. As best as we can, and put them into this document. There is some detail that we cannot or we will not be able to put in, because some of those things are going to be worked out within the various subcommittees that the union has, and they're going to I mean, it would make a really thick document for us to have, which we will have, but they'll not be into the draft that we'll send out, the final document. With regards to, remember, we're looking towards 2021, so the part of the challenge of a strategic plan is we look at what's happening today and what we want to achieve immediately. But we've also got to look further down the road, what we want to achieve by 2021. Officiating is key. We really have to build up our officials if we really want to play. I mean, every week, every so often we get remarks from people or complaints from people, the ref at this game or the match officials never showed up, etc. But if you look on one of the slides that we have, we've got statistics of what we have, plus the number of games that we're playing. And so it's a chicken and egg situation. We really want good officials, yet at the same time, we don't have enough at the moment. What we've got to do in the meantime is build up the capacity that we have of officials. And I like the idea of regional tournaments. So you have regional leagues. So you have people out in the country, just like in other sports as well. So you don't have to have a ref traveling from Mombasa all the way to Kakamega because he's the only guy who can do that match, or vice versa, or going back and forth, unless it's a really big shot game. But there should be levels of refs, especially at the grassroots growing up. And we have to come out and do that. The referees come from amongst us. They don't come from somewhere else. We have to come out and be those referees. Player welfare is key as well. And our friend here talked about player welfare, which the secretary spoke about before he came. But it involves a number of things. It's not just medical, it also involves our league structure. Are we playing too many games or are we playing too few games? There's some, I think it was last year, the Eric Shelley, they played too few games. And so we need to find a middle path where everybody plays comfortably so that you get enough rest and you're not necessarily playing for 58 weeks in a year, which sometimes is what it appears like, because we're just playing week after week after week after week with no rest. So we've got to factor that in. How do we structure our league so that we get the best out of what we have? You spoke about developing a high-performance environment. As we work towards the Rugby World Cup 2019, or as we work towards the Olympics in 2020, you could set those, I guess we should put that column and say by 2020,